Hello, Realm Runners. How are we doing? My name is Charles Barton, otherwise known as Viridian. I'm the Achroma Community Coordinator, and you are watching this week's Achroma weekly live stream on the 10th of October. Oh, no, sorry, 8th of October. I read the date wrong. 2023. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Let's start by welcoming everybody that is here live with me. So welcome in. Let's go to the top and also have a look at the question that I posed to you at the start of this stream, which is nice and simple. Which legendary have you been using the most for your games this season? I should add so far. So let's have a look. Welcome in, Taurus, starting in with an early Achroma breach. Not surprising, considering I know you are fighting for the Pixies this month, and Achroma breach has been very strong of late. Welcome in, Fairy Bread. I made a pretty good Yana Fairy palette. With Yana, Orb, and 2 squad leaders, you can get 16 plus Resolve. That's pretty insane for 4 cards. That is awesome, Fairy. Welcome in, Shaz. Great to see you. Welcome in, Michael. Good to see you as well. Taurus, haven't played many games, unfortunately, to grind some 1v1s online. Absolutely, yeah. Achroma needs to work hard. Welcome in, Heron. Good to see you as well. Not started any games this season, but the last few games I played was Hod and Mutans. Ah, yes, I know you like your games with Hods. Good to see you still playing him. Welcome in, Lewis. Achroma Breach, but haven't played much. That is fair enough. It's all good to take a break. Welcome in, OSJ. Evening. I've been using Ray quite a bit this season. Yeah, Ray is definitely one of the stronger ones at the moment. Although I think, we've had in previous discussions, Ray isn't necessarily what makes some of the most powerful palettes powerful, but he is overall a brilliant card. Welcome in, Dickon. Great to see you. You're playing Fisto. I do like a good Fisto palette. There's so many good synergies with him. Welcome in, Just Cope. Great to see you. Dexter is your favorite recently. Awesome. Again, yeah, he is absolutely brilliant with the dragons. And obviously, we've got Chapter 2 just around the corner now, which is going to make Dexter even more powerful, especially with some of his companions. Welcome in, Richard. Good to see you. Lost Fairies. Yeah, I know you like your Lost Fairies palettes. Very good for heavy control palettes. And Shaz says Copper Joss, Asa, and Dexter. You know what? Copper Joss has kind of fallen off a cliff a little bit. She used to be the legendary that everybody played all of the time, and now suddenly she kind of gets picked every now and then, which is interesting to see. Nice to see that you're playing her. But yeah, Asa as well. I know there's been a lot of really strong Asa action palettes. Dexter as well. Welcome in, Sadistic. Hi. I don't really use legendaries. Mostly use Eldoris, just in case. Yeah, always good to have a bit of a trump card up your sleeve in case you need to suddenly board wipe. Don't tease me with a more OP Dexter. I mean, what can I say? We've seen from the previews already that there are lots of really cool dragons coming around the corner. I think a lot of people have said we are really excited to build some heroes palettes, because obviously, especially with Crackle and Boom being legendaries as well. Imagine Crackle, Boom, Dexter with all these other dragons coming out. It's going to be absolutely epic. But yeah, welcome everybody to the stream. So, for those that are new here, or maybe just want a reminder, here's how the stream is going to work today. So we're going to start off with the Achroma news, events, and previews, where I will talk through all of the Achroma news that have happened this week or stuff that's upcoming. We'll talk about any events that have happened and any events that you can look to go to in the future. And I'll say now, normally the events section is like the smallest bit, but I've got so many events to talk about today. You guys are going to be excited if you are looking forward to some events coming up soon. And then obviously we got some previews, of which I will not let you guys down. We do have some more previews today for the last Snow Dragons of Altari coming out. So we'll see some new cards today. Then we have what's called the Realm Table, which is a half-an-hour discussion. Sometimes it's with community members on a hot topic in the world of Achroma, but sometimes it is also members of the team. And today we have Jack Constantine joining us, who is one of the founders of Achroma and the managing director of Realm Runner Studios. So he is joining us for the Realm Table. He has a few bits that he wants to discuss, with the community and kind of, tease a few things that are coming your way, but also it's a great opportunity for you guys to have a bit of Q&A with him as well. So have a little think now over the, whilst I do the news, events, and previews. Are there any questions that you want to ask of Jack or the core team in general about, anything to do about Achroma? And we'll try and get through as many of them as possible. Just updated the leaderboard. Oh, thank you very much, Lewis. I appreciate that. And then the last bit of the stream is the community showcase, and that is where I will be showing off any kind of fan art or fan creations that you guys have made this week. We also have a look at any creator content that has been made and promote that. And we also have a look, I do a weekly palette building challenge. So we'll look at last week's entries and we'll have a look at this week's challenge, which Lewis, you'll be pleased to hear is finally Sparta related. So let's get started then with the Achroma news, events and previews. Starting with The Last Dragons of Altari. So just a small update about this. I appreciate that a lot of people have already pre-ordered this next chapter and are eagerly waiting their cards. Just a small update to say that we have had, the large majority of the cards come through. The expectation is that we should have the last packs of cards coming through the door hopefully Monday morning. So if all things go well, hopefully we can get them picked, packed and sent out mid next week. So stay tuned to the Discord. Obviously, we'll put an announcement out as soon as they are being shipped. But yeah, we're literally just waiting for the last box or two, and then they'll be shipped early next week. So obviously, it's still a case of when do they come through the door. There could be printing errors, but I can't imagine it's going to be much longer than a few days, really. So exciting times. But keep in mind, if you've not yet pre-ordered The Last Dragons of Altari, it is not too late. Until it actually releases, the pre-orders are still going. The pre-order link is down below. For pre-ordering, not only do you get a nice discount, whether you won't get when it goes live, but you also get the promo cards as well. So make sure to pre-order if you've not already. So that is The Last Dragons of Altari. And like I said, we have got some previews of that coming up soon, so stick around for those. No one believes me that Dexter Painter works really well. Oh, I can see that working. I can see that working, Fairy. So next bit of news is around, obviously, the fact that we are currently in the Sparta season. So as a general reminder, we've just entered the Sparta season, specifically for the fall of Flutterby. And to remind people of what this means, for the first 4 weeks of the season, there is currently a battle waging on between Achroma versus Achroma, whereby at the end of the 4 weeks, whichever side wins will determine the fate of the fall of Flutterby, and that will have effects on the next release of cards, a piece of lore on how Sparta ends, and potentially other things as well. So how you guys can do this at home, if you haven't already, pick up your cards, pick up your Achroma wrap, and play games of Achroma Canvas and Achroma Heroes, and every time you get a win by Achroma, which is when you raise your shards up to 30, then obviously you'll get a win towards Achroma, and if you win by draining your opponents to 0, you'll get an Achroma win and help towards an Achroma win. So you guys in the community are literally shaping the lore and the next set of cards, so get involved over the next 4 weeks. Now, to keep track of the season, you can go to the Achroma.cards website, which is linked down below. You can see at the top here, there's a tab for Global Achrometer, and it shows you all time and season. Let's go ahead and look live at how the season is currently going. So right now, Achroma is in the lead by, what's that bit of quick maths? That's 16 in the lead? Yeah, 16 in the lead to Achroma. So that sounds like a lot, but that is actually a very, very small amount, considering that when you think back to the Salem season, I think Achroma won by like 200 or something in the end. That's still very, very close. But in the first week, we've already had over 300 games of Achroma being played, which is brilliant. So keep up the fight, guys. Whether you're fighting for Achroma, Achroma, or just you want to try and go for even, get your games in. I know I will be, as yeah, it's gonna be great to see how this one ends. And you got 3 more weeks, folks, until essentially the end of October. So yeah, if you have any other questions or want to find out more, then you can check out the Discord or go to the Achrometer online. So going back to the other news then. So first bit of news, Achroma Showcase. Now, I did consider talking about this bit of news in the actual events section, as it technically is an event, but I want to mention it during the news section because it is big news. So for those that have not been in the community for a very long time, go back to, I believe it was May, we did the first ever Achroma Showcase, which was a big hyped up event, which was held down in the previously called the Achroma store, but it's now obviously the Five Realms Gaming Lounge. It was held there. All of the team were there. We had loads of, press and community and basically a big show where we not only celebrated what had come before, but looked ahead as to what is the future for Achroma and Rummer Studios. And it was a really, really fun event. You know, those that were there or saw the live stream is still watchable on YouTube if you want to watch that back. It was really, really fun. And the team are looking to do another one. So I believe by the time we do this, it would have been 6 months since the last one, because behind the scenes, there is, fair to say, a lot going on at Realm Runner Studios and Achroma. And the best way to get a lot of that out is a showcase. So this one is going to be a bit different. So yeah, Lewis says, I expect this to be yearly. Down in Poole, it will probably be yearly, because this one, folks, is in London. So I know there are a lot of the community that are based in London, or at least can travel to London. And obviously those in Poole can also travel to London if they need to be. This is actually going to be the Achroma London showcase. So I have very little details for this at the moment, because this is very much just a save the date, folks. So what I can tell you at this point in time is that it is on the 30th of November, as it is on screen. So definitely save that date. I don't know the exact timings, but I'm sure you won't be surprised to hear that it will almost certainly be an afternoon, evening thing. So it's probably going to be a, sharp at 5, 6, 7 p.m. I'd be very surprised if it was any different, but to be very clear, timings are not confirmed. So there will be, so this is going to be in London, Soho. And there is going to be a limited guest list purely based on the size of the building that we have. So there will be a capacity. So in the near future, we will be putting out essentially a way to sign up. There won't be like, it won't cost you any money to attend, but there will be a way to get a ticket or put your name on the guest list, as it were. We are going to be prioritizing community members. So as soon as you see that go live on the Discord and our social medias, definitely get your name down if you want to go, to avoid any disappointment. But for those that don't know what to expect from a showcase, you can expect a lot of the core team to be there, if not everybody. There will, so there'll be some meet and greets, get some card signs, stuff like that. We will do some kind of seminars, as it were, where we'll have people on stage, and we'll be going through lots of big things coming for Achroma over the next sort of 6 months or so. And there will also be lots of stuff to do there as well. Last time, for example, we had card signings, we had RBG playtests at that particular time. We had lots of other things that will be there to kind of play test and have a go at. So it's definitely going to be worth going. So yeah, 30th of November, folks, get it in your diaries. We will have more information as the weeks tick on, and the tickets will be, or the guest list will be available very soon as well. But we wanted to tell you as early as possible so that people can arrange, things like travel and stuff like that. So yeah, that is the Achroma London Showcase. So definitely get that in your diaries. Now, the next bit of news, I'm going to leave this slide up because it's actually in a similar frame, and that is we are going to try something a bit different with how we get out the news and updates to you guys in the community. So we're obviously still going to be doing the Achroma weekly live streams. These aren't going anywhere because we do enjoy this weekly get together with you guys in the community and anybody else watching brand new to be able to show you guys what is coming for Achroma. But what we want to try and do is we want to try and make these YouTube streams all about what's new, what's coming up soon. We want to try and, when it comes to giving you updates as to things that are adapting and changing, if we give you an update on stream now, a new viewer might not really understand that. So what we want to do is we want to give back to our Discord community, and we're going to start hosting once a month Discord showcases. And what that will essentially be is once per month, we will arrange a date and a time where there will be a Discord stage set up, and you'll be able to join that stage, and there'll be myself and a couple of members of the core team, and that's almost like a monthly showcase where we will go through any major updates that are going through. It'll be an opportunity to discuss potential updates that are coming as well, and there'll be an option to do a larger Q&A every single month. It's just a way for us to give back to the Discord community and keep you guys more in the loop about what is going on in the world of Achroma, specifically for the Discord community. So keep an eye out for that in the Discord, and if you haven't already joined, then click the link down below. Once we have the date for the first one, which will be later this month, I'll let you guys know as well. Well, don't want to arrange travel if I don't get a ticket. That is very true, Lewis. That is very, very true. The tickets for the showcase, or again, the guest list should hopefully be up very, very soon. But that is fully respected, Lewis, that you wouldn't want to start booking dates off in hotels and stuff until you actually guaranteed a ticket. So that is noted. Cool. Next bit of news then. I mentioned it last week, but we want to mention it a couple of times at the moment because we really want to make a push for it, which is the Achroma Ambassador Scheme. So I did a big section on it last week. So Feel free to watch last week's stream to see more of it. But as a gentle reminder, if you haven't already, you can sign up for the Achroma Ambassador scheme on our website under the resources tab. Essentially, it is a scheme you can sign up for whereby you get a link, and if you purchase through that link, you get 5% off. And if you give it to your friends, they get 5% off and you get some commission as well. And you can rise up the tiers to get more discounts and more benefits. And another thing to mention is that we are really making a push at the moment for trying to get Achroma out to as many stores as possible. And we need you guys, the amazing Achroma community, to help where possible. So we appreciate that you guys come from all over the UK and all over the world for that matter. So if you have any game stores or card game stores, whether they are big, massively franchised or small little family run stores that you think would be good to get an Achroma, get Achroma in that store, and you happen to be down there for any other reason, have a chat to them and see if they would be interested in Achroma. If you think a store would be, then you can let Chillman know in our Discord. They will contact them. And essentially, if you manage to get a store to become an Achroma stockist, there is a very nice finder's fee for you guys. So definitely have a chat to your local game stores when you're there and let us know if you think they might be interested. Right, next bit of news then is the Sparata Fall. So this is going to be something that I mention every single week, as you guys can imagine. So as we are now in the Sparata season, we do have the promo card, the Sparata Fall. So this promo card will be available all throughout the Sparata season, so until the end of December. And until the end of December, we have a regular promotion going on, which is when you spend £30 or more on the Achroma.cards website or in the Five Realms Gaming Lounge store, you will get £30. Sorry, when you spend £30, you will get one of these cards automatically added to your basket and sent out to you. They are limited edition. As usual, we've only printed 1,200 copies, and when it gets to the end of the season, they will no longer be available, or they could even sell out before then as well. So if you want to get your hands on a couple, then definitely go ahead and purchase £30 or more to get on your basket, or come to any of our events where we're going to, and there'll be an option to pick up one for free there as well. What we got in chat here sounds interesting. Thank you, Dickon. Richard says, can we still get hold of... sorry, I've got something in the way there. Can we still get hold of t-shirts, etc.? What do you mean by t-shirts, Richard? Are you talking about the merchandise, the Achroma merch? If you're talking about Achroma merch, that is still being created for the backers of the Kickstarter. I don't have an ETA on that, I'm afraid. In terms of when they'll be available in the future, I don't know if that's something we're looking to do. Oh, will they be given out of 5 games weekly game nights? As in the Sparta Fall? That is a good question that I'll be honest, Lewis, I don't know the answer to. So I'll have to ask the store about that one, about whether the regular weekly event. I would imagine so. I can't imagine why they wouldn't do. So I'd probably say 75% yes, but I can't confirm or deny, Lewis. But yes, Rich, in terms of the t-shirts, they are still being worked on in terms of the designs and making sure we get the right manufacturers. Whenever we have an update on the merch, we'll let you know. But in terms of can you still buy them, at this point in time, I'm not been made aware of any plans of the merchandise being a regular item that will be for sale. It's at the moment still just a Kickstarter exclusive. I'm just going to get my promo with Draco Chapter 2, same as I do with Draco 2. Yeah, absolutely, Taurus. Absolutely. Cool, so that is all of the news. We've now got some events to go through, of which there are quite a few events to go through. So to begin with, as always, there is the Achroma Thursday, 6 PM till 9:30 PM at the Five Realms Gaming Lounge in Poole, Dorset. It's £2 for the mini event, or it is free to enter just to come and play. It's every Thursday. All gamers welcome, whether you're brand new to Achroma or an expert. So come along down and have some fun at the Five Realms Gaming Lounge. Also, weekly is Patriot Games. Every week, Monday at 6:15, they do Achroma Palette Practice, free to enter, and it's essentially go there and play some Achroma games. So if you live anywhere near Patriot, then head down to there on Mondays. And Boards and Sword Hobbies, Tuesdays, 6 PM are the regular Achromaites there, so definitely get involved in that. If anybody knows of any other stockists that run regular nights, then do let us know, as we do like to make sure we mention it on stream so that everybody knows where to play Achroma this week. Welcome in, Sarah. Good to see you today. How are you doing? Next event, I think I mentioned it last week, but I just want to promote it again. So this is going to be at the Angle Gaming Lounge in Peterborough, Saturday, 14th of October. So that is that next weekend. Yeah, next Saturday at 1 PM, they're going to be doing an Achroma demo in that store in Peterborough. I will be there. Chillman will be there. I think Troy will be there as well. So if you want to come and meet us, please come and do so. We will have some promo cards on hand if you want to get a cheeky promo card. And obviously, that we're going to be demoing the game. So the more of the community we can get there and get involved, would that be fantastic. Welcome in, Nick. Do I get a promo card if I buy from another website that delivers a pallet from your store? No. So, Nick, if you want to get the promo, it's directly from our store or the Five Realms Gaming Lounge. Other stockists may end up adopting the same. We do send some of the promo cards out to the other stockists, so they might do a similar deal. But for the whole spend £30, it has to be from the Achroma.cards or Five Realms Gaming Lounge sites, I'm afraid, as that is where the promotion is directly done from. But welcome in, hope you're doing well. So that is this Saturday coming, Saturday the 14th of October at 1 PM in Peterborough, Angle Gaming Lounge, for those who want to be there. Next event to talk about is MCM Comic Con, which between last week and this week, I can confirm that I will be there. Not sure if that makes a difference to anybody, but myself and loads of others of the team members will be at MCM Comic Con all weekend. There is so much stuff I want to be able to say, but I can't. We've got some really exciting stuff coming up for leading up to Comic-Con and Comic-Con itself. It's going to be awesome. So if you guys are already going to MCM Comic-Con, then definitely come and see us. If you're not going to MCM Comic-Con, it's not too late to get a ticket, even a day ticket, and come and join us and say hello. You know, you can meet the team, get things signed. We always do exclusive discounts when we're at events, so you can get things a little bit cheaper. You'll be able to pick up event cards. You'll be able to play games with us. And like I said, we've got some exciting stuff coming that I can't talk about today. I wish that you're going to want to know. So if you are going to be at Comic-Con, brilliant. If you're not, consider going. I mean, it's a great thing to do. Fairy Bread, I think I'm going to go to MCM next year if it's yearly. Yeah, it's twice per year. It's always in May and October every single year, Fairy. And, you know, we're not guaranteed to be at every single one. It very much depends. But so far, we haven't missed a Comic-Con since we've started doing them. So we're probably going to be there. But obviously, I can't confirm it or deny it. Can't wait to meet you there. Awesome. Can't wait to see you, SJ. Yeah, it's twice per year. Welcome in, Auntie. Good to see you as well. So yeah, that is MCM Comic-Con, which is the 27th to 29th of October. It's not too late to get your tickets. Okay, and then the next event to talk about. This one is going to introduce you guys. For those that can go to Patriot Games over in Sheffield area, not only do they do their Monday night pallet practice, but they are doing what is, we're saying, it's the biggest prize pool ever, Achroma tournament. So this is on Sunday, the 19th of November. It is £5 entry at Patriot Games in Sheffield. You can see the address down there below. Now, this is one you guys are going to want to travel to. Even if you're not local, I'll go through the prizes with you. First prize is going to get £100 in cash and a collector's edition of their choice and a custom tournament winner playmat from Patriot Games. I'll repeat that for you. First prize gets £100 in cash and a collector's edition of their choice and a custom tournament winner playmat from Patriot Games. That's insanely generous. Second prize gets £50 in cash, a collector's edition of their choice. And then third and fourth prizes will get a £25 Achroma voucher and a Achroma palette of their choice as well. There will also be a free promo card for all entrants, along with some shard cards as well, based on the number of entrants. So yeah, it is a big tournament incoming, folks. Really, really big. That is at Patriot Games on Sunday, the 19th of November. £5 entry. Now, I don't have details of what time. I imagine it would be probably the normal sort of, 12, 1 p.m. time frame. I also do not have confirmation of how the tournament will be run. I imagine it will be following the same rules as we always do with the whole Swiss style. But to be very clear, this is their tournament. So as I get more details about exactly how it's run and timings, I will update you. But definitely one to put in the diary. I did check their website before the stream, and I haven't seen it live on their website yet for the tickets. But do keep an eye on their website, and I'll update you on the next weekly stream if and when tickets are available to purchase. But definitely one to mention. Only a 5-hour train ride, but hey, the £100 will hopefully cover that. Damn, more holiday? That's okay. I'm sure, if this one's successful, I'm sure they will do more. You're going to be there, Shads? Awesome. Heron, it's only a 30-minute drive? Fantastic. I personally won't be there because it's my anniversary weekend, so I can't be there as much as I would love to be. But I imagine some of the team will be going up there. But yeah, really exciting time, so get that one in your diary as well. So yeah, look at loads of events, just do a very quick recap. Well, I'm not going to do a recap. That will take me forever, but lots of events going. What I will do, folks, is when this stream is over, I'm going to update the IRL events channel in the Discord, and I'm going to post all of these dates in a neat timeline order. So if in doubt, you can watch the stream back or check out Discord, as it'll all be in there as well. You got a few from Bash going. Lovely, Rich. That's great to hear. Awesome. So yeah, that is all of the events. Would you guys like some previews now? Can I get an X in chat if you want to see some more Altari previews? Lots of X's from Ferrybird there. Yes, please, from Dickon. Do you guys want to see some Altari previews? Yeah? Heron as well? Okay. I'll give some previews. As if I had a choice. All right. So the first couple, the first two are actually ones that were already sneak peek. Oh, bish. I'll go on then. These first two were already sneak peeked in the Discord, but not everyone will have seen them. And then I do have a handful more to show you. So firstly, we have Scathers, the creature, well, a fish. So this is very similar to like Funguar sort of style. 2 shard card, 2 strength, with the keyword poisonous. And the lore, these evolved aquatic creatures are becoming a threat above and below Achrom-laced waters. The new Funguar. Is Scathers going to be as popular as Funguar, though? That is the question, Fairy. If it's not obvious, I'm going to have to say no. What do you think, Funguar? Yeah, I think I'm going to have to say no, unfortunately, because Funguar, I'm Team Funguar all the way. That can't be convinced. But you guys might be able to convince me otherwise. So yeah, this is Scathers. Obviously, it's and always good to see another poisonous card. With how strong things like protection is, it's always good to see. So yeah, awesome card. Amazing artwork as well. They're also by Vinny. Why are Scathers and Funguar both just poisonous and Rabid Dog is a steel one? Because Rabid Dog is a good boy, Fairy. Rabid Dog is a good boy, that's why. In short, I don't know why. Obviously, all of the individual chronicles are balanced based off of the other cards, so I imagine Rabid Dog just needed that bit of a buff. Yeah, black and green Rabid Dog. So, next one then. Yeah, facts, a good boy indeed. So the next one is also one that was shown on Discord already, and I know this one has already caused some people to be thinking about palette building. So there's an uncommon card, 4 shards, called Chromatic Voyager. They are a heroic character from the Aluros faction. They are 4 strength, and their resolve is gain 1 for each of the following present on your canvas within each of the colors. So this is essentially the same sort of ability as Blueprint Swell from Sparata. And the lore is this explorer is an expert at locating the rare pockets of chroma beneath the ice and snow. So yeah, I can already tell that people are loving the idea of this one alongside things like Chroma Storehouse. This is going to be a very strong chroma card. I imagine this is going to be a must build in pretty much any chroma palette. Very, very good card indeed. And yes, lovely to see all the cats as well. Very, very cute. Yeah. Oh, with research palettes as well. I agree, Bish. Absolutely. But you're going to have to try and build a bit of a rainbow, you know. With Chroma Storehouse, you often try to build just around kind of blue, red, cyan. But with this one, you're going to want to have all the other colors as well. But yeah, awesome card. So the next ones are all brand new previews. So let's have a look. I can only see the thumbnails of them, so I haven't even seen these fully myself. So we have... I can never say... I'm always terrible at saying these for the first time. Hulalas? Ice Spear. I think I've said that correctly. So this is a rare heroic object, a weapon, +3 in the resolve, and it costs 4. Once per turn, the attached character may defend. Okay. Great to see a strong object. Really strong resolve for an object. And being able to defend as well is very, very strong. You know, it's a word that we see quite a lot in the first chapter of Draco Planum. And we've got a lore of this ice spear takes many forms and is wielded by those who wish to protect others. You know, I like to see that because, you know, in the first chapter, we saw that a lot of Cyan was defensive stuff. So it's good to see that making a comeback. Oh, yes, that's the location, isn't it? So it's the location spear. It's very cool, isn't it? Just Cope, you're saying game-winning card right there? I presume you're talking about Chromatic Voyager there, but I think Ice Spear could do pretty good as well. Stick that on Harukas, if that's how you spell it. Oh, what, the dragon? Yeah, absolutely. Very, very powerful object there. Good to see that. Let's have a look at the next one. We now finally get to see, so we did the creative writing competition recently. We now actually get to see the proper lore for it. So this is a Blizzari Frontier location. It is 2 cost, steal 1. Action, freeze a character. We've already looked at that keyword. And the lore of it, so it's the Tani River breaks the land between Fireside Mountain and the Blizzari Plains. Achrom pollutes these waters, bringing nothing but suffering. Interesting. We need to now go back through everybody's entries for the creative writing and see how close some people were with some of those details. OSJ, I need to get driving. We'll catch up when I get home. Have a good stream. Thank you very much, OSJ. Appreciate you joining us. Have a safe drive home and catch up later. Sure. So yeah, very, very cool. See, we love the artwork for this one. We all love this location, but great to now finally see that as well. The Fleabee has traveled to Draco Planum. Yeah, it is a little bit like a Fleabee, isn't it? Very nice. I thought the water was Achroma. Yeah, I think a few people caught onto that, and you were absolutely right. But yeah, brilliant cards. Next one. Snowdrift Sanctuary. This is beautiful. Let's just appreciate that artwork there. Snowdrift Sanctuary. It's called Altari Skies. So it looks like we do actually have some floating locations in this one. I think so far we all thought it was going to be just grounded. So this is a 5 cost location plus 3. Once during your turn, you may freeze a character and freeze a location. As a reminder, freeze stops cards from resolving. Well, sorry, it stops their resolving or any of their abilities. So yeah, that is absolutely massive. Being able to stop a character and stop a location every single turn is pretty big. Cold Vast Volataris. It's essentially, yeah, like a Cold Vast Volataris. I like it. Dragons consider this... okay, I'm so bad with some of these words. Dilapidated Castle Sacred. It's said the walls hold the secrets of Draco Planum. Ooh, if we get some short stories, I hope we get some stuff around there. Vast Volataris had a sister. It's a very, very cool, isn't it? Snowdrift Sanctuary. Very pretty card. But yeah, lots of freeze. Freeze is a very, very strong keyword here. And then I've got 2 more for you. So the next one is Rathma's Fur. So it's a 2 cost object. The attached character cannot be the target of freeze or hunt. If they were, they no longer are. So it's essentially a card that counters the new keywords for freeze and hunt. So it's a card that is going to be very, very good versus this Chronicle. I imagine if you're doing a custom palette, maybe for a tournament, you probably won't pick it out unless you think you're going to be coming across freeze and hunt regularly. But nice little object, 2 shards, and I like the fact that it actually, cancels a hunt or cancels a freeze. No, it's not Rathma being skinned. It's just the fur that they have. It's someone else's fur, but not hers. If you freeze a card and then the opponent uses splat on the frozen card, that card can that card resolve the splat? No, Heron. So if a card got splatted, they wouldn't be able to resolve at all, because the splat gets added to the card's current resolve. It's not like I get +2 and then my splat, it's technically added on. So freeze is a counter to Sparata. It is a massive counter to cards with splat. Yeah, massively. So yeah, very cool little object, very useful in certain scenarios. And then the last one I've got, and beautiful artwork as always. The last one I've got is an action ritual, Holder of Truth. We got a flaming eyeball. So it's 4 costs. That's quite expensive for an action. Search any player's palette and discard any card. You know what? I remember seeing this one playtesting. Yes. This is why it costs 4 shards, folks. This is an insanely powerful card. Obviously, it's 4 cost. You don't get anything, anything back for it, but you can play it, look through your entire opponent's palette, which obviously in tournaments is fantastic because you get to almost like see what cards they've got in their palette. And then, yeah, you could just take some Cinemanti Stone, take Ray, whatever you want, and throw it in the bin. Now, obviously, this is a very good card for early game. Because if you play it early, you've got more cards to choose from. If it's late in the game, their legendary might already be on the board. It might be in their hand. It might already be in their dregs. So, you want to get this card and play it early. The longer you leave it, the less cards there are going to be to choose from. And obviously in multiplayer games, it's going to fall a little bit flat as well because, you can't control everybody's palette. But it's just awesome. It's just such a cool card. I can't wait to see the amazing plays done with this. But yeah, imagine using this card to purposely discard a card and then play your own Sintamani Stone to then dig for that card. So you could play this, discard the legendary, play your Sintamani Stone to get the legendary. Search the threads of the future to remove the threats from your path. Threats from your path, I should say. Very cool. What we got in chat? That's disgusting and I love it. That's not a rear. Oh, I like that one. Yeah, it's a hot eye. Lewis says Fleabee basically reads like free. Yeah, essentially Fleabee may as well say freeze nowadays. Yeah, you're right, Lewis. I have to use that. Yeah, it's going to be that is going to be if you're playing a Draco palette in a tournament, you're going to be putting that in surely. Rise of the Hexclunger Engineer. That and Sintamani Stone's starting hand will be too good. Absolutely. I can't wait to screw over my wife with that card. It's going to be strong. I really can't wait for the set. There's some amazing synergies going to be happening. So there we go. That is all of the previews that I have for you today. Some really awesome stuff. As always, I will put all of that in the Discord after the stream for you guys to look over. I have no doubt some of the content creators are going to already get their hands on those and start doing some articles as well. It'd be great to see. So there we go. That is the Achroma news, events, and previews. If you have any questions about any of the news, events, or previews, then obviously let us know in Discord or in chat. And obviously all of the IRL events and previews will be posted to the Discord after stream. Dickon, is one of those cards that were affected by the Achron win? That's a very good question, Dickon. I don't have a list now of which cards affected. If possible, I will try and find out which cards were sort of like shifted from kind of more Chroma to Achrom, if possible. Yeah, that's something that I would be able to get hold of now. But it looks like it could have been. It looks like it could have been. Maybe that could have ended up being a Chroma card that was the opposite. I don't know. All right, so we move swiftly now, folks, onto the Realm table segment. So, as I said earlier at the start of the stream, what's about to happen is we are about to bring on Jack Constantine, and we're going to start by having a bit of a chat about a couple of things that are pre-planned, but we are, in the latter section of the Realm table, going to be doing a bit of a Q&A section. So have a little think now, if you haven't already, folks, about any questions that you would like to ask Jack, or just generally ask of the team, and I will get through as many of them as we can. But in the meantime, can you guys give a warm welcome in chat to Jack Constantine, the managing director of Realm Studios and founder of Achroma. Welcome in, Jack. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. You okay?
I'm all good, thank you. Pleasure to have you. Oh, I see you've turned out the lights in Murky Manor over there.
Yeah, it was getting a bit too bright back here, so I thought I'd better set the tone for Murky Manor this October.
Yeah, of course, because obviously, it's not been mentioned very much, but obviously October 31st is actually Realm Studios and Achroma's birthday, right?
It is, so yeah. It'll be 2 years, yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to start by introducing yourself, Jack? So might be some people that haven't, seen you before on a live stream.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I'm Jack. I'm the managing director, CEO, basically, of Realm Runner Studios, where we've got Achroma as the key product that we make, which is obviously what we're talking about today. And yeah, so kind of set up Realm Runner Studios to be able to produce and publish Achroma, which is a world that my wife and I have been building over 20 years. And a friend, Chris, who's also one of the founders of Realm Runner Studios and works with us, has built the game with me. So between us, we've kind of created the world and the game mechanics of what Achroma is, that we're really loving how everyone enjoys it, and so glad that we're able to continue our journey of building the world and the characters and the stories and adding all the cool new cards in. It was great seeing all the stuff coming. I think it's going to be really exciting getting the new set out.
I mean, I'm a little bit biased because when I first met you guys and the team at Comic-Con in May, Draco was my first set, so I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah.
I love the first comments as Bish saying that Tash is on fire, Jack, and Herod has specifically said a better Tash than me, so yeah, nice job. So Jack, obviously we'll get to Q&A later today, but obviously I'm a little bit in the dark as well here, folks, about this. Jack has given me little teasers throughout the week, so there's a lot coming for Achroma in the next sort of few months. So what would you like to let us know so far? What's going on in the background?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're always beavering away, trying to work on how we can continue to improve and evolve the world of Achroma and the gameplay and the kind of premise and the big ambitions we've got for what we're kind of creating. So, it's been I'd say it's been a bit quiet from our side. I think we've been obviously busy revealing bits and pieces for new card sets, but we haven't necessarily had much of a chat or an update from a kind of Realm Runner showcase point of view, which we held back in May. And we're kind of getting to a stage where we've got a few projects that are all kind of bubbling away that are starting to, they're almost ready, they're brewing and they're almost ready to be revealed. So this is really just an opportunity to kind of have a little bit of a chat and a you know, an opportunity to kind of let you guys know we've got some fun things that are kind of in the works coming up, and obviously we've done stuff with the Kickstarter that's still coming through. So we've got quite a few little bits and pieces that we're working on that are kind of coming to a head over the next few weeks, and you know, pre-Christmas. Yeah, so one of those things is that we've always, when I first kind of worked on the concept of Achroma being an evolving card game, we chose the word evolving, and it's been quite tricky because, you know, it can seem, what does that really mean? And we've had that question a lot from people, you know, oh, what does it mean when you call it an evolving card game? And you know, in essence, there's elements of it you could just straight up call it a collectible card game or a trading card game, you know, or a living card game, depending on the angle. But I think one of the main things for us was that, you know, creating and setting up Achroma, the product and the cards and the world, we always wanted to have multiple ways to play the game, like lots of different formats, and ways that the cards kind of hold their value, and build their value, based on the whole kind of digital aspect as well, like how we have the way that you have the app and you log in and you register your cards. All of that gives us the capability to do a lot with the cards and with the kind of world of Achroma, that is genuinely evolving. And I think we're starting to see a little bit more of that. I mean, I remember some of the early conversations that, you know, it would have been maybe that Comic-Con you were at, Charlie, of us talking about things like, oh, you know, we're going to build in the Achrometer, and then it's going to influence the narrative and the story.
Yeah,
and these,
that was something that originally was a pipe, not pipe dream. Like,
yeah,
that originally was a, oh, that's far in the future, and then here we are now, sort of thing.
Yeah, so it's that kind of thing where, you know, as you're going along the journey, you know, you people might join in and see where it's at, and I think it is genuinely evolving. Like we have these goals, these plans, and we have to be careful about how we can juggle all of the work we've got on to make sure we're not spread too thin.
Yep.
But in essence, you know, yeah, we are very focused on trying to make sure that we build and grow the evolving side of Achroma, so that it is, you know, speaking true to what we originally set out with. Which I think, yeah, we've got some nice stuff that is definitely layering that whole evolving aspect up.
Awesome. And you know, I know a few little bits. So you know, to tell people in the stream, like we have got some in the upcoming weekly live streams, and also that Discord showcase we're coming up. We've got some, you know, lots of these things will be discussed further. Can you give us any kind of teasers though, Jack, to kind of like what the community can expect kind of upcoming news about, without giving too much away?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, basically we've got, you know, some aspects of the digital side of things that we've been working away on, you know, just trying to get where we want the platform to be for Achroma to be able to really enhance the digital experience side of things. So, you know, we've had a website brewing for a while. It was mentioned in the Kickstarter way back at the beginning of the year, and there's been a lot of work going on that website to be able to kind of expand on the DB, the database, really build out that functionality for not just the ability to kind of like look up cards, but it to really be like a toolkit for players to be able to lean into, for way more than just you know, yeah, like I said, looking up a card. And that does include sorting out the whole CMS behind it, content management system for, like, you know, all your different card types and keywords and all these different aspects. So we've been doing a lot of work on that, which is going to be something that, you know, is coming soon as a kind of new home for all things Achroma on the web, which I think will be really nice, because I think we've got a commerce site, we've got short stories, we've got bits and pieces, but, you know, people might have noticed some of the stories have dropped off, and we've been working on some things, and a lot of this comes down to the fact that, again, beavering away behind the scenes, we've got this new architecture that we're working with, which is not, you know, it's not fancy or exciting for people who just want to know what we're up to in terms of what we're releasing, but it's a very big help for us in Realmrunners HQ when it comes to building new sets of cards, building the world out, giving us all the tools we need to really make it exciting, and then layering up exactly how we want to be able to enhance the user experience digitally. Being able to log in with your Achroma account on the site and look at your information in there and be able to see things. So really enhancing the kind of digital side of things from the web has been one of the focuses. And then on top of that, revisiting the app, as again, because we've been evolving over this period of time, the app has evolved with us and it's grown and grown. It's become, a big app. In the very beginning when we first launched, again, like when we went to our first Comic-Con, we didn't have an app. I mean, Charlie, I think when you came, that would have been like 6 months after. So we were in a situation where we had the app. But the first one, again, we were even saying, we're going to have an app. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. So like we were in that camp. And now, 2 years down the road, it's like, we've got an app. It's got an adventure game. It's got all these different features.
Heroes, loads of stuff.
So it's starting to get a bit bloated and a bit, all right, how do we evolve and make sure that what we're providing for the users is the best possible experience with the different types of ways to play the game. Mm-hmm. So we are splitting that out into 3 separate apps. One, Achroma Adventure, which we might have a little sneak peek. Have we got a sneak peek?
I do. Charlie? Are you happy for me to show that?
Yeah, go for
okay,
it.
so this is so what is this a sneak peek of, to be very clear, because I haven't fully watched it.
You got the video, yeah? We'll play it and we'll let people see. It's a new adventure that will be coming.
Okay, I'll put it full screen for those watching.
So obviously, anyone who's played the adventure game, it's a mobile game of choose your own adventure set in Curdle Hill, but we will be venturing over to Draco Temple, and there'll be a whole new adventure where you wake up and you are out in the floating wastelands of Draco, able to kind of explore the world. So we've been working on a new adventure game release, so that will be coming out, and we'll have more to talk to you about next week on that.
Awesome.
So these are the kind of things that are going on behind the scenes, and that new adventure game app will have a lot more updates in terms of features, and we've got a new member of the team, Michael, who's going to join me next week to kind of give you a bit of a breakdown as to what we're really doing with those apps and how the features vary and change. Mm-hmm. We've got the adventure app, which will be separated out, and you'll be able to get that app, and then with that you'll be able to go and download it and play the adventure games, and that doesn't hinder someone who's just focused on playing Canvas, and equally you can bounce between them, hence the reason we need to have things like web profiles so that when you're logged into one of these different apps they all connect together. So we'll have adventure, and then we'll have Achroma Companion, which is the main app which we're used to, focused on Canvas and Heroes, with all of those features that everyone's been using to be able to run their shard bank and do their games and connect together. So that'll all be there. And then there will be name to be confirmed Achroma RPG app that will also be coming out. So that'll be dedicated to the role-playing game.
I think I do have a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
Do you want to show that as well?
Yeah, so we're getting some nice little digital dice that you can see there that you will be able to use when you're playing your role-playing game.
That is cool. I like the metallic gold ones.
Yeah. So we're building out each of these different features so that the support required for each of these ways to play is really honed in and focused on the roadmap for that particular app. And then behind the scenes on that is your login, your profile, all those details will be shared across all 3 apps. So you'll be able to be looking at your cards, you'll be able to log into your profile, have a look in the shard shop. All of those types of features have all been restructured to work on web and app, which just makes it a little bit easier for everyone to be able to enjoy Achroma from wherever they are.
Absolutely, it simplifies the main app, but the other apps are there, and it makes it less bloated, like you said. A couple of questions in chat. Everyone's saying it's mostly, everyone's saying it's positive. It was Heron said, "Will we still keep all of our progress within the new app?" I imagine so, because it's account based, right?
Yes. So everything will be linked to your account, and that account will track all your progress, and everything that's you've already had is all stored and safe, and everything's in there.
Perfect. Awesome. Lewis says, for the community stuff, currently things like the Achrometer bot in the Discord and leaderboard, I have the data to get around about ways. When would we look to open up dev API access? Do we have any word on that at all?
Yeah, that will be shortly after we get this up and running. There'll be the availability for those kind of API kits.
Fantastic.
Because the new architecture will be set up and ready to go.
Awesome. Lovely. Okay, so we're talking. Yeah, I believe we have it scheduled. So next week we're going to have a deeper dive into those apps with a chat with Michael, like you said. So that'll be exciting. What else? Do you want to talk about today? I know there's a couple of small things.
I think it's been a really interesting journey, kind of, building a world and then starting to kind of curate that and tailor that to a game and building a game. And kind of building the structure of that game, and now being in a phase where you're not just building and creating a game, but we're now managing and maintaining the existing game whilst it evolves, whilst the whole, whilst we add new cards to the card pool, whilst we're looking at new features and new ways to play. And I think it was always one of those things. We definitely had some parameters when we started working. Mm-hmm. Around how to make sure we manage power creep and looking at those types of areas where it's how do you make sure that you're going to build a game that doesn't break straight away, basically. Yeah. And so we've been working on that, and I think that one of the challenges we've had recently, which obviously people will notice with decks like Raiders, is that one of the things we always knew was trading was one of those tricky mechanics where by implementing the capability for high cost cards to just be utilized for trade fodder, you're risking that as you build your card pool, more and more cards are just going to be high cost, so therefore they're just going to be trade fodder. So someone's just going to turn up, crack out
a 30 card palette, 6 cards, yeah,
and away you go. Just trade. You've won the game. So obviously Raiders has kind of highlighted that, yeah. And I would say that during our journey of kind of setting those parameters and as we've been managing it, it's gone a little bit off to the side, and we need to reshape things a little bit so that we make sure that as we build future sets and as we move forward with this, we do tailor and manage the playability of the game to make it as fun as possible, and to try and ensure that we are keeping on top of the kind of meta and the general playability of the game to ensure that it is a fun, enjoyable game and it's not just become a boring game unless you have one deck that even if you turn up with and you just mirror match against people, it's just repetitive. Yeah. So within that, there are ways to manage that, and a lot of other different games have different methods. One of them is to ban cards. The challenge with banning cards is that it's a bit unfun for players because they bought their cards, they're collecting their cards, and all of a sudden your favorite card's banned. The other way to look at things is to look at how you can evolve the game format itself, which obviously for us is somewhere we want to lean into because of the nature of being an evolving card game. And then the third piece is just really honing in on when we build our card sets, we put down firmer parameters about what we determine is too powerful a mechanic. So we've obviously found that 5 and 6 cost shard cost cards shouldn't really be in uncommon and common because of the fact that if you're playing a game of Canvas and you're limited to rare and legendary, then you can only have up to 4 of any 5 or 6 cost card. But the minute you put them into uncommon and common, you can just start chucking in pairs of 5 or 6 cost cards, and then you can build yourself a 30 card deck, and all of a sudden you're absolutely loaded with 5 and 6 shard cost cards. So we're going to be managing the kind of parameters around shard value to ensure that we keep the shard value lower for those common and uncommon cards, unless there's a fringe case where we're really, really game design wise, we're like that works too well. But it's almost just a red flag system to be a bit like, look, we're on the periphery here of making a bit of a risky move that might shift the dynamic of the game somewhere we don't want it to go. I think we found this as well with another kind of phrasing that we were very loose with in the beginning, which is play it for free. Which in some cases, you take a card like, what am I thinking? Split Decision, not a problem. Play it for free is not a problem because you're randomized. By the point you've got 2 cards, you can play one for free. Play it for free on Murky Manor and Sintamani Stone. You've got very different power creep
Consistent
levels
cards,
going
that's
on.
the issue. It's the consistency.
Yeah. So just working on how we manage those types of phrasings and keywords and just make sure that we're tailoring how we design the sets moving forward with not restrictive game design rules, but some stuff in place to just give us the red flags if we're like, oh, hang on, this feels like we're going in a way we don't want to go. So it's a very exciting challenge because we're building. So because we're growing, because it's building, because you guys are playing it, which is amazing. We have these new challenges we need to overcome. Of like, right, well, the first challenge was build a game people enjoy. Now it's like, okay, maintain and manage a game people enjoy.
Would you not argue the game is, and it's nice to say the game is almost evolving around us. It's not just look at Raiders as a perfect example. We didn't, Raiders wasn't a faction palette we created. That's something that the community have over months and months gone, oh, look, there's this little thing I can do. It's evolving around us. So yeah, okay. So what we're essentially saying is that there are these red flag systems that when creating new cards, we're going to try to, be more on, visual on, oh, that's going to, there shouldn't theoretically be a situation where in 5 years time when there's, 5 releases for Sparata, there shouldn't be, a ton of 6-cost cards to be able to trade. So there isn't going to, hopefully, should not be another Raiders scenario where you can just build a palette full of 5 or 6-cost cards.
Yeah. I mean, the challenge of Sparata was always going to be a bit chroma heavy as those fairies are the painters of all the worlds. And I think depending on how this season turns out, whether Achroma dominates and pushes back, or whether Chroma continues to make its way through and push hard, but we will still manage the dynamics of the behind the scenes to make sure the cards don't get too overpowered.
Awesome. So a couple of questions in chat. So Heron just makes a point. You didn't have to nerf Murky Manor. It wasn't that broken with a winky face. Yeah, it was. Ferrybread says...
the reason you can say that now is because we've nerfed it.
Yeah, exactly. Fairy says, do it that you have to state your deck before playing an official tourney, and it must be your own. You must be your own, such no 2 players can have the exact same palette. Now, I'd say the issue with that, Fairy, is that with Achroma and palette building, it's very difficult. It's I forget what's it called. Jack, you might know that analogy, which is when you take planks away from a ship and build a new ship. At what point is it a new ship or the old ship? Whereby with Raiders, if you take Raiders as a perfect example, if you guys all went away and listed me 30 cards of what makes, build a Raiders palette, there's going to be so many differences. There's not one card that makes it that palette. So it's very difficult to kind of just go into a tournament and say, hey, I'm playing this type of palette because at what point is my palette different? Dickon asks, is a lab coat going to become a rare card? I mean, Jack, I imagine the answer is no. We're not going to be necessarily changing any cards up a rarity like that.
No, I mean, normally, I think with what we have now, there isn't going to be, I think there'd need to be a pretty severe reasoning to shift to making a card like that, a change like that. But I think there will always be flexibility. I mean, we did change Murky Manor. Obviously that was through the revision between first edition and unlimited. The cards like the lab coat is already an unlimited card, so it's already at that point. I think it's more so about balancing out future kind of cards and sets and seeing where we go with that. If Raiders persists, then we might need to look at a few other aspects of it. But I think the reality of that is that there isn't necessarily one card that it's worth banning or doing something to.
One card wouldn't stop Raiders.
Fix that problem. So I think it doesn't feel that would be the best solution to what we're trying to solve here, which is to curate an enjoyable experience for all players. And we've got some, I don't want to go into too much detail. We're still playtesting stuff, but we've got some fun mechanics that I think could really help evolve the way Canvas is played and give different ways to be able to balance some of these challenges that we're coming up against at the moment. So yeah, we'll keep you guys up to date, but we've definitely are aware of it and we're working on things and we're constantly wanting to make sure that you're all having the most fun possible and that the game feels like something that's enjoyable.
Oh, very good. And you kind of, answered, Sadistic answered just then. Sorry, yeah, Sadistic just asked, you're talking about future cards. What's the current fix for Raiders now? So yeah, as Jack said, it's kind of being monitored. And I'll echo what Jack said there, that I've kind of been looking at what's been going on in the playtest group. And there are some ideas out there. And from a community point of view, I will say, I mean, I appreciate it's just my personal opinion. Some of the things I'm seeing are looking, and this is trade with my Realm Runner hat off. It is looking good. So we'll see what comes out of that. But yeah, it's being looked at. I mean, we've kind of naturally gone... was there anything else you wanted to say in the meantime, Jack? Otherwise, we've kind of naturally gone into the Q&A section.
No, perfect.
Lovely. Well, in which case, get your questions in chat, folks. I'll read through what's been written so far, but get your questions in for Jack. So we've got about 5-10 minutes left. So Heron says, the joys of any card game, you can't think of every palette that can be made, so you can't find every broken combo. Exactly. I think, it's a good point to mention, Heron, that Realm Runner Studios has always been a very, very small team. And, I'm sure Jack won't mind me saying, everybody in their respective roles are fantastic in their roles. But, correct me if I'm wrong, Jack, creating a card game, this was a new venture for you and Chris and Dan and Rachel, everyone's learning it as we go, right?
Yeah, and I think the beauty of projects like this is what always drew me to it being this type of card game format is the fact that really ultimately the community aspects of when cards are released, that's when you really learn the final rules of the playtesting, or what's going to work, what's going to be broken, what's not. You can do as much internal playtesting as you like, but the reality is that no one can imagine the creativity that someone will come up with on a deck build, on a palette, that you just go, well, yeah, they've created something we didn't factor for that, which is exciting, because the point would be, like everything about what we want to do, is we love that synergy with the community. Same with the influence on the narrative and all these things. So again, it's a great compliment, to the community, that Raiders is there, and I think a great challenge to see who can come up with something to counter it. Obviously, as new cards get added to the card pool, that starts to create opportunities. It's interesting to see where people are at with their kind of understanding of Cove and what they can do with some of those cards. And, it's nice to start to see as we continue the journey, and we'll see again within the next week, we're going to find out a lot more with 60 new cards entering the Draco realm. What kind of synergies will we find, and how will that play out? When everyone's frozen. So yeah, there's going to be some really interesting mechanics and dynamics, and I love the community aspect of creating a game like this that basically isn't done until the community says it's done, which is the point. It's like you're not finished because you think you've got to a certain point and someone's got this amazing angle and you're like, never thought of that. Wow, that's great, and then our job is to respond to that, react to that, figure out what we do next with that. So yeah, I love that kind of one of the main reasons that drew me to making a game of this style of format.
Fantastic. So what else we got? So got a few comments where, Freed's going to help a lot. Lewis has a question specifically. I like the heroes format, but it needs some love with a lot of heroes abilities, needs some clarification rewording. Is this in the pipeline to be looked at? And on the same question, also, will Realm Rifts get hero abilities like other legendary locations?
Yep, all of the above. Heroes is a favorite of mine. I really wanted to be able to create something with even more palette building flexibility. Obviously, it is wild, and that's part of it. And all of the rules around all your shard values goes out the window once you can build a heroes palette full of legendaries and rares and whatever you want. But then we create those parameters where the shard bank's a bit higher and the capability to win so quick is a bit slower. And yeah, the hero abilities, the benefit of being able to control things in the app, all those, is to be able to update and refine and finesse those so that we can really get them to a hex clunker level where they take a card from a kind of canvas set and then create such a good hero ability that it's completely changes the value of the card once you put it into a heroes game.
Yeah, there are some cards that you might have heard the discussion earlier. We were saying that I know a lot of people are excited about Dexter, Boom, and Crackle in a Heroes palette with this release coming out. It's going to be epic.
Nice.
So next question is from Dickon. Again, folks, we've got a couple minutes left, so if you've got any other questions, chuck them in chat. Dickon asks, nice one, what is your favourite faction across all Playnums?
My favourite faction across all Playnums? I mean, I have...
I reckon I have a guess. I'm going to write it down.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to make sure I think through all of the different factions. I mean, personally, from a world building point of view,
I've got the answer.
I'm very intrigued, and I'm interested in the Magus Elite and how they evolve. What have you got?
I put Lakaringi Trolls.
Ah,
Because I know that was a faction you had a lead on. I know you played them in the RPG.
I did, yeah. No, I think the Magus Elite are such an interesting, complex and flawed faction that I love. I love how much there can be some, really misleading good and bad things about what they think they're doing and what the reality of what is needed. So yeah, I enjoy that. The whole kind of magic police thing's just an interesting dynamic.
Brilliant. Thank you. And then, Heron said, well, you made Wishwell. Yeah, that's why I thought he was going to go with Trolls. Lewis also asked, did you, when it comes to the amazing lore story that came from Draco last season, did you have to have a fight with Rachel about Darnacus being killed off?
You said, well, killed off.
Oh, Razor. He's not
even. He's entombed.
Entombed. That's true. That's very true. Maybe a chapter 3 could make a comeback.
That was all I had as my one caveat. He's entombed. It gives me some wriggle room. We'll figure out if Achroma can claw its way back. We might be able to do something about him. But
Darnacus returns as a card.
If Achrom keeps going, I don't know what we're going to do. It will be a dark day for Darnacus.
Poor Draco, there's playing him just being turning Achroma first. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all the questions we have. So, is there anything else you want to say to kind of sign off, Jack, at all?
The only thing I wanted to add is that you all very kindly raised over £4,000 for Dex's Arc through buying Dexter Master Dragons and all of the work that you've all done. Buying that card from us and helping, and obviously adding in Charlie's amazing live stream. So thank you for doing that 24-hour stream. We raised over £4,000 in the last, since the launch of it up until about June. So there's still even some more money from there that we haven't accounted for yet. But all of that goes to helping to fight childhood cancer and look for research into treatments and much more friendly ways to be able to deal with that. So it's just a huge thank you really for everyone who's contributed to that. It means a lot. Dexter would love that he's part of this world and and how well you've all looked after him. So thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Jack. Well, if we can get a huge round of thank yous in chat, please, for Jack. Jack, thank you very much for being on and discussing all that. Obviously, like we said at the start, we've got lots of really exciting things coming. Obviously, I think are you joining us back on next week with Michael, I think, to discuss the apps?
Yeah, I'll pop back in.
Yeah, lovely stuff. And obviously, I'm sure we'll see you in the Discord showcase and the London showcase. We're going to see a lot of you soon. So thank you very much for being on, Jack, and we look forward to seeing more of it soon.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye, Jack.
Bye.
Lovely stuff. So, there we go. So there we go, folks. So that has been a nice little bit of an update from Jack Constantine there. If we get some more thank yous in chat. Some really exciting stuff coming. Next week, as Jack said, we're going to be doing a bit of a dive on the new Achroma apps that are coming out. So we'll get Michael on to talk about that. So definitely stay tuned for next week. Some really good information there as well. I know I was quite pleased to hear some of the bits about the red flag system in the card. So that's really, really good to hear. If you have any more questions for Jack, do keep them noted, because Jack will be back on stream next week, and also during the Discord showcases where there'll be an option to talk more. But there we go. Lovely. So let's move into the last bit of the stream then, folks, which is everybody's favorite, the community showcase. So this is where we turn the camera onto you guys, as it were, at some of the amazing stuff that you guys have created and been doing this week. So to start with, we like to always talk about any creator content. So there are some new articles from some of our creators. So in no particular order, Draco Temple has posted a new article detailing about his creative competition entry and all about it. You can find the link down below. We've had a couple of articles from Playing Achroma at blogspot.com, again, link down below, specifically articles detailing about the Sparta Fall season and how it all works. So definitely check that out if you're a bit unsure about how season activities work. And we've also had a new Chroma creator on the scene with Antonomy93 at blogspot.com. Again, link down below. Anti has been looking to also do some blog posts with some good articles, and he's come out the gates with again some articles about the Sparta full season, a really good article on the heroes format, and I'm pretty certain right as I was getting ready to go live, I'm pretty certain they actually posted another one which is about looking at some more ambiguous keywords in Achroma. So definitely go to all three of them are linked down below. Go give them some interaction. You know, it's really, really nice to see content creators out there, you know, creating blogs. And if you're someone who makes YouTube videos, TikToks, articles, anything like that, then don't forget you can, you know, promote yourself in the creator content channel in the Discord, and we'll always mention them on stream as well, because we know here in the team we love seeing content creators. You know, I myself was a content creator for Achroma before I joined the team, so it's really, really nice to see people, you know, making that content and getting out there. As you know, it helps build the community, it helps new players get onboarded. So thank you very much to you guys. Yeah, they were good reads, weren't they? So yeah, I agree. So when it comes to fan content this week, then, so there has been one piece of fan drawing entered. I say entered as if it was a competition. So this is a really cool drawing done by Orchid in the Discord. So this was actually the entry that they did for the Curdle Cove art competition. But they never colored it. So now they've had the time, they've actually now colored it in and resubmitted it. And I thought I would show you guys again, because I really like this. You know, I made a comment specifically in the Discord that, you know, when you look at it, it's actually quite void of color, really, because it's quite dark. But it's, you know, even just that light effect on the face is really cool with how they've done the lighting for it. Just seeing it in color, it really does make it pop. Beautiful drawing. So well done to Orchard for this. Thank you very much for sharing it with us in the Discord. And as always, if you want to look at any of the fan art and leave any nice comments and leave some hearts, you could do that in the community Discord under the fan content forum. And if you haven't joined the Discord, then please feel free to do so. It's linked down below. There's loads of cool stuff there. So yeah, very well done for that. And now let's have a little look at some palette builds. So every week I do a palette building challenge for you guys to get involved in, where, you know, to get you guys thinking. It's for those that enjoy palette building. I do a palette building challenge. Now, last week's one was create the strongest legal canvas palette you can create, where the total number of Achrom shards must be as close to equal as possible to the Chroma shards. So you have to try and make a very Achroma palette. So we are going to be showing you next week's challenge coming up soon. But firstly, let's have a look at the entries for this week. The first one being from Sarah. Very nice. Shame he couldn't get it finished in time for the I mean, he did get it finished in time for the competition, but just not coloured. Fairy, I imagine it sat on an old wooden post in a misty water on the cove. It looks so cool. I'd love to see that picture with a full background. I think it's kind of like you know, a Darkness in Night, but I do agree, Fairy looks awesome. So this is the first entry from Sarah. So Sarah absolutely came out strong here. We're not going to sit here and count it on stream, but I have verified that what Sarah has been able to do here. She has made a Copper Joss palette from Sparta, where the Chroma shards do in fact equal the exact number of Achrom shards in there. So well done. Firstly, she has managed to use the correct, you know, hit the mark. Looking at the actual palette itself, you know, you guys can help decide with me. Do we think this is a very good palette? So obviously Copper Joss, amazing legendary, very, very strong. Sintamani Stone, we know how powerful that is. Throne Room and Sorano and Prism Sprayer as your other rares there. Throne Room is fantastic for a bit of steel, you know, stopping other Chroma. The only thing with Throne Room is you have to be very careful you don't accidentally choose a color that's going to affect yourself. I imagine you're just not going to choose cyan or blue. Serrano, obviously a great controlling card, and Prism Spray are very good as well when you've got loads of characters, which you do. We can see here we've got some painters and squad leader. Obviously for squad leader's probably not going to get as much use because that's only, you know, splat one for each other painter, of which you've only technically got a maximum of 4. Maybe you could have swapped out the squad leader for something different, but then again, trying to get close to the shard count. Obviously, Carmela's in there, fantastic control. Ravage Elites and Morag, I imagine those are in there for the Achrom. Castle Gate's in there as well, good promo cards. And then as for the actions, we've got some full palettes, brilliant. Role reversals for the Imps, fantastic. Blueprint swirls, yeah, looks like this is probably more likely to end up being a Chroma palette, but you could get some, got some snuff outs in there. Overall, it's a very, very good hybrid palette, really. That could go either way, Chroma or Achrom. Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, of course, you had to use copper, Sarah. You had to. But yeah, really well done here, Sarah. And again, kudos to yourself for managing to get it. So it was 40 Chroma and 40 Achrom. Well done. So the next one I've got is from Echo in the Discord. Now, I think Echo gets a bit of a round of applause for this one because, again, I have verified it myself. We're not going to sit here and count it on stream. But not only did Echo went above and beyond here, not only did he make it so that the exact number of Chroma shards matches the exact number of Achrom shards, but if you count it up, each color of Chroma is equal as well. So there is 7 cyan, 7 blue, 7 red, 7 magenta, 7 green, and 7 yellow. It's literally completely equal, apart from obviously Achrom. There is, I think this is 42. But yeah, so firstly, massive kudos to Echo for not only meeting the, the Chroma Achrom split, but also Chroma being perfectly aligned. Let's actually now evaluate the palette itself. So it's a Hex Clunker palette, so Salem Planum. Hex Clunker has been notoriously strong recently with strong objects. So looking at it, the only object that I can really see is Corrupted Muon Trap and Sintamani Stone and Converter. So I imagine that Hex Clunker is just there to keep replaying your Muon Trap, keep replaying your Sintamani Stone if needs be. Imagine if you had all 3 of them out that it starts to become a little bit worse, but hey, it's still a very good card. Murky Mana. Good to see Murky Mana being in here. Obviously, that's to reveal a card and play it for free. That could hit a lot of different Achrom cards. Very cool. Pyorth, very strong. Abundance, brilliant. Some good locations. Got obviously Dark Rainbow, always powerful card for Chroma. Got some good control with Fireball and Hostile Takeover. Some decent characters with Harpy and Rabid Dog. Some good solid actions for either gaining, stealing, or swapping locations. Overall, this is a pretty good palette. Obviously, he's leaned in more towards the actual challenge itself, but genuinely, this is a very, very strong palette. So yeah, well done to Echo for this one. Sarah says, I'm tempted to make it used as a normal palette. Yes, you said for your one. And then the last entry I've got is again from Echo, and I can credit where credit is due to Echo. This is another one that Echo did, whereby, again, the Chroma and Achrom are equal, so 48 Chroma shards, 48 Achrom shards, but also the Chroma shards are again equal, so it's 8 of each Chroma shard. He's done it twice, folks. Massive congratulations to Echo. He's gone above and beyond of this. So again, when he's built this palette, he did say, he built it more around the challenge, but let's still evaluate how good we think this palette is. So for the legendary, we've gone for King Craven, who doesn't get as much love as we normally like. And then rares, we've gone for Pyorth and Sintamani Stone and Throne Room. Again, really good. We got Brazinkaman in there, which I imagine is in there to try and get the Cyan up. Brazinkaman isn't a very commonly used one. I think that, that is where characters can't attack the attached character. All other characters must attack. It'd be interesting to see how that works. I think it's probably been thrown in there just purely because of the Cyan, but it could work out. Otherwise, again, things like Full Palette, Bounce, Dismantle, all very good actions. We've got a couple of the Sparata Fools in there for a quick bit of steal, Snuff Outs. Your regular array of Achrom characters, all good things to say about Ravage Elite, Carmel Lizard. Excuse me, Morags. Some solid locations. Again, Blueprint Swell. Blueprint Swell is probably not going to get very much action here because that's all about +1 for each of the following present on your canvas with the Chroma colors. Thank you, Fairy. Of which, actually, considering most of these are actions, at most, the only colors that are going to be on your board are Cyan, Blue, Red, and Magenta. So Blueprint Swells aren't going to be very good here, but again, I imagine he's just built it around the challenge here. But yeah, overall, and just some solid actions as well. Overall, a pretty good palette, nothing game-breaking, but the fact that he's managed to do it equal to Achrom and Chroma. This week, I'm going to give the crown to Echo. Sorry, Sarah, I loved your Copper Dross palette, but the fact that Echo has built 2 palettes that are both equal and also equal in Chroma, Echo, you get the crown this week. Well done. Very, very good palette builds. Well done indeed. If you want to see those palettes again, they are in the Discord. Now, let's go to this week's challenge. So if you are eager to build a palette in Achroma, I appreciate we've got the new cards hopefully coming out this week, so I'm sure when those come out, people will be straight onto those. But this week's challenge is called the Forgotten Sparata Heroes. So this is going to be a Sparata-specific challenge. So I appreciate that not everybody has the Sparata Fall of Flutterby cards. Even if you don't have the cards, you can still build the palette, because when you actually want to build the palette, you can use some of the community-driven websites like Achroma.tools and AchromaDeckBuilder.com, where those websites are community-made, where you can basically build palette. That's where you got those images from. So you can still build a palette even if you don't have Fall of Flutterby. It'll just be digital. So the challenge is, I want you guys to create the strongest legal Sparata canvas palette you can create using one of the off-meta legendaries, which are King Craven, Sprat Morail, and Dr. Hugh. So you can't use Copper Joss, you can't use Spiral, and you can't use, what's the other one I had written down, but now forgotten? Oh, Guardians of Flyby Falls, because those three are used very commonly, whereas poor Dr. Hugh, Dr. Hugh, Sprat Morail, and King Craven do not get enough love. So I want you guys to create the strongest legal Sparata, Fall of Flutterby palette that you can, using one of those three legendaries only. Every other card is in limit, so if you want to use the Realmless cards, you can, but for the legendaries, it has to be one of those three. If you want to take part in this week's challenge, then create your palette and submit it into the forum post that I will put after stream, and make sure you do that before the live stream next Sunday. You know what? I'll throw Guardians in there then. You guys don't see Guardians? I'll throw Guardians in there then. How about that? I'll be nice. You guys can do Guardians as well if you want to, because I do see Guardians quite a bit, but I do agree that Spiral and Copper Joss are the bigger two. So there we go. If you want to do a Guardians one, you can do that as well. So King Craven, Sprat Morail, Dr. Hugh, or Guardians only, please. Sprat would make an amazing rare, but as legendary is not quite that level. Well, let's see if we can get creative and see if you can build a good palette around it, Fairy. See what you can do. But yeah, there we go. So that is the palette build for this week. And with that, it brings us nicely to the end of the live stream. So it's been a very, very busy one again. Lots of stuff. I'm not going to do a recap because, again, it would take me like another 10 minutes to do so. But we've had, some fantastic news. There's loads of events going on and lots of previews. So keep an eye on the Discord, because I will put all of the events... Oh, music has decided to stop. I will put all of the events into the IRL events channel in the Discord. I will... I'm trying to find the lo-fi again. There we go, we'll go with Fall of Flutterby. So yes, I'll put all of the events into the IRL events channel. All of the previews I'll put into the previews channel. And again, I'll make those forum posts. So yeah, there we go, folks. That is the Achroma weekly live stream for the 8th of October. Again, thank you very much to Jack Constantine for being on with us today. A massive thank you to everybody that has been in the chat. I always appreciate you guys being in here and chatting with me. It makes the stream so much better. And even if you are watching this on the replay, then feel free to join us live for the Achroma weekly live streams at 7 PM at this YouTube channel. And subscribe if you haven't already to get notifications for those. But yeah, thank you very much, folks. Have a fantastic week. I will see you guys in the Discord. Make sure to get your games in. Remember to fight for Achroma or Achroma. And we'll see you next week for the next Achroma weekly live stream. I've been Charles Barton, otherwise known as Viridian, the Achroma Community Coordinator. See you around. Bye-bye.